Hey everybody, how's it going? Max with BuzzTox here. I'm actually a little bit quieter today, and I'm in a different environment because I'm actually not at home. I'm on vacation, and yeah, I'm trying to be quiet because of everyone around. Don't want to make too much of I don't want to make too much noise. And I'm here with Trevor. So what's going on, Trev?
Pretty good, man. I literally flew home.
I
Well,
know
not literally, but drove very fast.
this whole setup's been a mess because I'm like across the country. Trev's at home and he had to fly home and he's on his phone now because we're trying to get the audio to work. And I don't know, like, hopefully everything works out okay. Hopefully you can hear us. Everything's clear. But Trev's like doing this off of his phone. He can't read the chat, so I'm gonna have to read the chat for him. So it's gonna be quite the mess, but we're trying to manage. I really trying to get like our opinions out. But without further ado, like, what did you think of the episode, Trev?
Amazing.
Yeah.
It really was amazing for me. And again, you might have your gripes with it, not knowing because we didn't watch it in the same room this time. But man, I was blown away. And I think everyone that's just a casual fan of the show is probably just loving it.
I I agree. And it was different too because I watched it with like a bunch of casual fans, and like I really did enjoy the episode. But like, of course, I have my gripes. Like, did you have any gripes with the episode, like, whatsoever?
Um, well, we discussed the gripe about Sam, right?
Yeah.
Sam at the end just saying like, "Yo, I remember like he blew over that whole thing when she was talking. He wasn't even listening. He was stressed out. There's no way he would have been able to pick up on that." But
I don't know, things like that happen so quick, and that's what I feel like overall with this episode is like it had like a lot of really cool like moments. Like we got everybody together at the Dragon Pit, even though the reason I thought the logic was kind of flawed. We got
yeah,
all come down. We got all of these things, but like I feel like it was somewhat rushed in a way, and like I'm kind of
yeah.
irritated in that sense because like comparing it to I don't know how you feel about the last season finale, in season 6, episode 10, that to me was way superior than this episode.
Well, I think for the next, I guess the next 8 episodes or 7 or 8 episodes for the next one,
6, man.
6 even. So
I don't even get it how they're gonna do it.
it's gonna be that. It's all gonna be about time constraints. Look how much things look how many things they squeezed into this last episode. So it's almost
Yeah.
like at this point, it's beggars can't be choosers. Because if you think in comparison, the last episode was when she blew the church up, right?
Yeah.
So, or the sept, I should say. So, like, there wasn't even there was not any talking in that scene for what, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
I took their time with them, like setting that up. They don't have time this season around, so we're not going to get many more episodes like that finale.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I don't know. I hope we just get somewhat of the focus. Like there was 6 episodes left. I don't know how they're gonna wrap this up because certain things they went in different directions that I didn't expect. Like the whole John thing. Like they brushed that over so fast, and I feel like they really played off. They try to play it off more that instead of John having being ice and fire and having the blood to defeat the Night King, it was very focused on he's the heir to the Iron Throne. Um, and I feel like they did that as a creative choice because the show's called Game of Thrones. Um, and also I feel like they were trying to set it up like a holy shit for like casual fans to be like in shock because they know that John is sleeping with his aunt. So I feel like they set it up just specifically in those shallow ways instead of addressing the bigger picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't
I
know,
don't
but like
know. I really liked what I saw tonight. That's what I have a hard time resolving. Like,
I know,
I
same here.
still
Yeah,
don't know at the end. Do you think that was ice or fire coming out of the dragon, or a combination of the two?
I don't even know that whole scene confused me. It was like a beam of
Yeah,
really
it's like
focused
plasma,
energy. I don't even
destructive
know.
ice.
I don't know what that was. But it's interesting to see it like seeing the wall fall down. But like I'm really confused now because this whole episode I was like, well, shit, because Beric and Tormund are at the wall.
Yeah.
What happened to them? Like where are they?
Well, no, they're fine. So Pat was talking with me, and we're like, "Oh no," he thought the same thing. Like, where did they go? but it seemed like Tormund was right at the edge of the wall where it broke.
He was at the edge of the wall where it broke.
The edge, looking over at the whole horde walking over. So whether he retreats to Castle Black to let them know to send the crows,
yeah,
or does he try and get in front of them and get to Winterfell?
Just like to me, it wasn't clear. Like I honestly, like I watched it again too on YouTube because they upload it like right after, and like I still didn't know. I didn't get a read on where Beric Dondarrion was. I didn't get a read where Tormund was, and I wasn't clear as to where they were. I don't know.
Watch it again. You'll see he like turns around to see a guy with a bow and arrow. Like he kind of like calling him like move, move, and then boom, the whole wall falls. The guy with the bow throws his bow and it collapses, and then it pans out to show that whole piece, that whole section of the wall fall off.
But then you see all of Eastwatch fall, and you see like the stuff surrounding Tormund. So it's like, it seemed like to me that he, like I was like, oh shit, he's dead. But it was annoying to me because he obviously isn't dead, because I feel like they didn't play. If he did die, they played his death horribly. Like they had no. It was
that would be really awful if he did die that way.
It wouldn't really make any sense. But now they're going to use him as like a raven. He's going to fly over to Winterfell and say, hey, like the Night King's coming. I'm sure that's what's going to end up happening.
Yeah, it's like it's got to be. He's got to retreat back somewhere, whether it is Winterfell, but I don't know how he goes the same way they're going and not run into them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because he's got a dragon in the sky. He kind of has to go to Castle Black.
Yeah, yeah. Would he go to Castle Black? Would the Night King go to Castle Black
as opposed to south?
That would explain that well if Tormund went to Winterfell to warn like Jon and all them, and the Night King went to Castle Black to eliminate it and recruit more people, because then you'd see him just working his way south, taking everything with him as he goes.
Oh, you're saying the Night King or Tormund?
I'm saying Tormund would go to Winterfell while the Night King goes to Castle Black.
Oh, no. What would be the point of that, though? I'm thinking the opposite. I'm thinking Tormund can't make it to Winterfell because he's got a dragon in his way. Even if he had horses, he can outrun the undead army.
Mm-hmm.
Weird to try and get back to Winterfell in front of a dragon that can fly miles in front of the army, right? If they may do it, I just don't. It would be weird for me to resolve that.
Yeah.
But either way, I don't want to be down on this episode at all. I think it was amazing for what they did. Albeit it was a bit rushed.
It was a bit rushed, but let's start off with the beginning of the episode. Let's talk about the Dragon Pit. Did you feel like that played off well? Because it was based on a story topic that we didn't like. Like it was focused around meeting for a white. So I actually think like the Dragon Pit played it off well. You know what I mean? Like it made it seem. It made me believe it. And then you see all these characters together that we've never seen together before, and we see characters coming together that they've reunited. Pod and Bronn. We get Brienne and Jaime. We get the Hound and his brother.
Yeah.
It was just a shit show.
The Hound getting to get an update on Arya is pretty cool.
Oh, I love that scene too, and they played it off too because he said that he wanted to protect her, and I thought that was an awesome scene. I'm trying to remember like all the other character moments we got at the Dragon Pit, because I think I always keep going to Tyrion and like his scene with Cersei.
Yeah, Jon stands up. What's his name stands up and pretends to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So. Man, I can barely hear you now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sorry for the amateur hour here.
Shit, you can't hear me?
No, it's coming in crackly.
Ah, shit.
No, but yeah, Huron gets up and walks away. They all have their words for whatever they have to say to each other, and it had to be the most awkward meeting of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone wants to kill each other from every tent there, and then the dragon shows up, and nobody even seemed bothered by that.
Oh, that was a total power move. She just wanted to intimidate the hell out of everyone.
Jaime's the only one that's like, man, like this is a dragon. Like he's the only one taking it kind of seriously.
Yeah. And that's like, fuck,
yeah.
Man.
They flip and this thing comes running out.
Yeah, I don't know the whole thing. So they brought out the white. I was just trying to gauge Cersei, because she technically did give in, regardless of what her plan was, because she said that she wanted Jon to swear fealty, or not swear fealty to her, but not be loyal to any queen. But then he's like, no, I won't do that. So I was just wondering, did she want to do it before? Like that part confused me, because then she left, and then Tyrion convinced her to come back and to lie. Why didn't she just lie before? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think she played a move because she wanted to see where his allegiance lied for sure, because he was saying he was king of the North before that conversation, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas now it's like he's 100% with Daenerys, and she wanted to kind of suss him out by doing that.
Right.
That's why they were all pissed at saying like, no, you should have stuck to your guns and say, yeah, I'll go back and be the king of the North, so that it's a three-way as opposed to 2-on-1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing for me, it was hard for me to watch it and completely be immersed in it because I was pulled out by the logic of the start of it anyways. Like, I just didn't think Cersei would even bother meeting with them and doing that shit anyway. But I think they justified it really well when she talked about the Golden Company with Jaime.
Yeah.
When that was the twist that I actually didn't see coming. I totally forgot about it because we just watched the show. But the whole thing that Euron left, he said he went to go to the Iron Islands, but that was a play to make Daenerys and her team think that he was actually going there, and he betrayed Cersei, but at the same time he was actually going to Essos to get the Golden Company.
Oh, that's what's awesome about it. I just feel like I've never heard of the Golden Company, but maybe the book readers have seen it or heard of it.
Yeah, like an army 20,000 strong. I just thought it was a good play because, like, I've been saying that too. We've been saying that, like, Cersei above all needs time. Like, she just needs to buy time, and I guess that's how I would justify her meeting with them over this white, because it buys time. She says that she'll help them out. It buys her time, and then she gets Euron to bring them in, which is going to be crazy now. Like, I don't even understand how they're going to play it off going forward. And then Jaime ended up leaving too. Like, just a shit show happened. And I thought Jaime would leave with his Lannister men, but he ended up just leaving alone. Where was Bronn?
No, he just fucked it. I think Bronn will leave on his own accord now that he's seen kind of where the chips lie and everything that's going on with this.
Yeah.
He's sort of like a neutral party too. He kind of goes where the cool people are.
And I think, they set that up too, because Tyrion was talking to Bronn saying, like, I'll pay better. And, like, they just kind of hit it off again.
Yeah.
So it seems like that's the direction they're going to go with Bronn. I'm just surprised we didn't see Jaime go and get Bronn. He just left, and he left alone. Like, I thought he'd have something with him.
No, he left with banners. He even covered up his hand. Like, he's like, he doesn't even want to be associated with as being a Lannister at all. He wants to be a free rider. Like, he just went lone wolf.
Yeah.
Although, like, I think that's awesome. And I felt like I saw this kind of coming. Like, he was going to be worn down. I didn't think it would. I thought it would be a little bit more explosive than him, like him taking off. But it's almost like he knows he's right, and despite what Cersei says, he's got to go.
Yeah, true. I can't think of, like, how's it even going to play out going forward? Like, the Night King literally is in Westeros heading south. You got Cersei heading north, probably with the Golden Company in the last 6 episodes. So I can't even see what's going on. And, like, all the characters are on the board. Like, they killed nobody this season.
Yeah, I know, it's tricky. So in my mind, I had it for the last, like, two times I was wrong in the finale, because I thought, well, semi-wrong. I thought that for sure that the next season would be the end of political strife. It would be everyone working together against the Undead Army. And majority of the episodes are going to be that. But you still have Cersei as a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And now, like, it seems unbalanced, at least how it's left, as to a 20,000 strong army marching against however many Dothraki they have and however many Unsullied they have with the dragons, no matter what. Right? She's just begging on them, killing themselves, trying to fight the undead. Right?
Yeah.
But I don't even want to make a wager as to what will happen on the next season.
Man, it's like, I honestly have no idea.
That's the thing.
Like it's just threats on both sides. And like I just overall with this season, I just have the question. Like for me, this season was unsatisfying, which is crazy to say because it was like action packed, like it was crazy, but not like when you think about it, nothing really happened. Like you just got a fight between both sides. Every character pretty much made it out, and the character deaths that did happen, I feel like were kind of shoehorned in. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I just it didn't have the like I wasn't satisfied like in the last season finale when Cersei blew up everyone. Like it lacked that surprise. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But do you have anything more to say about the dragon pit shit?
No, it was exactly what was happening. You saw some tension between Daenerys and Jon because they needed to show that before the final scene with them. They need to show this like kind of behind closed doors love for each other.
Yeah.
But obviously it got interrupted by Tyrion coming back.
Wait, you talking about Jon and Daenerys?
Yeah, how they kind of stowed away in like one of those little
Yeah.
pits or like
Yeah,
corridors.
yeah. She told him he was barren. She was barren, and then he said like, "How do you know? How can you trust a witch?"
Yeah.
Which is like they're just laying the groundwork for the potential marriage, and especially now because I want to go to Winterfell, like Jon's reveal, the fact that he's Aegon Targaryen. How did you feel that they handled that review, the reveal? Did you like it?
It's hard for me to say because we've known it for so long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we've been saying that since the beginning. And it's hard. Like I would like to get someone else's opinion on it. Like someone who was like, "Are you serious? That's what's happening?" Like someone who hadn't been paying attention to it as much as we have and had no idea. Even with like the baby from the finale of the last one. Like I would like to see the reaction videos for tomorrow, but it's like I feel like there'll be none of those because everybody already knew this.
I know that's what confused me too, because I feel like they split the reveal in half. Like they're like, "Oh, let's take this reveal and really savor it up for the next season," and I think they shoehorned Sam in there for no reason. Like they had Gilly read that stupid thing about Rhaegar marrying somebody else in Dorne, and it just blew my mind. Like how does Bran not know that?
I think Sam was there to be the fan reaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I
they
don't
already
know.
called from the last one. That's what's weird to me. But no, I think Bran doesn't know everything. He doesn't know everything. He knows only what he's looked upon. And
It
that's
just
why he.
yeah. I just don't get it though. Like you think if Jon is such a big deal, you'd focus hard on everything Lannister and everything Rhaegar. He should know everything that they've been through. And the fact that he's like, Jon's last name is Sand, and then Sam had to tell him, like really, like how did Bran not know that?
Well, I didn't expect much from Bran. They're not utilizing him at all in this season, which is crazy. But maybe we're totally overestimating what he's capable of. It
Yeah,
just seems like they could have set him up to be a really cool character, and he could have helped a lot more with his wizardly powers.
They could have used him so much more than they used him in this.
But here's hoping that they will in the next season, and he'll be taking over mammoths or whatever you want him to do, taking over polar bears. Like I don't know. I really hope we get like a mind battle between him and the Night's King. But
Yeah,
whose enemy is the Night's King? Will it be
yeah.
Jon to finish him off? Will it be Jon to shake his hand and come up with a deal? Or will it be Bran like doing this?
Well, that's why I'm a little bit frustrated because I feel like the whole reveal of Jon being Aegon Targaryen, the whole reveal was misguided. Like, first of all, it isn't about the Iron Throne anymore, and to me, it seemed like this whole reveal was the focus of he's a legitimized Targaryen. His name is Aegon Targaryen. He's the person who he has the biggest, strongest claim to the Iron Throne. And it's like that's not what the focus should be. The Night King is coming. It's about who's Azor Ahai. Like the focus to me was totally misguided. And I think because the show's called Game of Thrones, so like, oh, we have to pay that off. And then I think they did like a cheap kind of holy shit moment when they have Jon with Daenerys because it's like, oh, she's his aunt, isn't that scandalous? And it's like I feel like the whole thing it should have had a different focus. I feel like the focus that they went with was shallow.
Yeah, like what I see from that is like they say I can see this is where I blur what books I've read and what like from the earlier seasons is I feel like they've already touched that the Targaryens intermarried.
Yeah.
Like they married brothers and sisters together to keep the bloodline pure. So they've already kind of set that up. They have Cersei and Jaime having a casual incestuous relationship. So like for me, that's it. Well, it obviously in the real world it would be a big deal, but in this universe that they've created, it's not that big of a deal. What I think is what the reveal angle is that we have to tell Jon, and then it's bone time with them. Is that this now is going to cause a wedge between those two? Because it's like she thought she was going to be queen, and now she's got an heir in front of her.
Yeah, and that throws
Right.
Varys in there too. Yeah, everyone sees him now as the stronger claim, but it's her dragons, and there's only 2 dragons left. And imagine she flies one and Jon flies Regal. Like he seems like literally the opposite contender to her.
Exactly.
So I you know what? I hope they go that direction because they were setting that up with Varys too, saying that like he fights for the people, and Jon could potentially be a better person for the people, and he has the right name, and he's the next heir. He's literally the perfect candidate, and that could really threaten Daenerys.
It's got to be the only thing that they got going, and that's what I don't know about that weird, creepy Tyrion at the end.
I was okay. The people who were watching with my girlfriend thought it was strange too. I actually I understood it. To me, it was like
I thought it was
to me
Jorah.
he's like
when it showed from behind first, like just his hair. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Jorah was running the cock block on him earlier in the episode at the table, saying, "No, you should fly. You should fly. Don't sail with that guy. Don't sail with him." And then he gave him the eyes, like, "Oh God."
To me, I understood.
I thought holy Jorah like saw him go in there with her, but it was Tyrion.
Yeah.
So
to me, it was like, to me, Tyrion watching, it was like, oh shit. Like it was like he was kind of saddened and annoyed because that's gone. Like Daenerys did what he didn't want her to do. She fell in love, and that comes with a whole other level of baggage that he doesn't want. Like he wants the best for Daenerys, and her being with Jon might not be the best thing. And I think he's just pissed off because it's the same thing. It's the same thing that happened with Robb Stark. He lost the war as soon as he married, and I feel like Daenerys is going down that same path. Like I think Tyrion was just annoyed that what was happening was happening.
I know, but the way that they did it, it seemed like he was just creeping from the closet. He should have just went like they should have maybe had him like get a drink or like just touch his head like, oh fuck, not this. Where it seemed like, oh, Tyrion's got feel. It almost seemed like they're trying to convey that Tyrion had almost feelings for her as well.
Really? I didn't read it like that at all. To me, it just like I read it like, oh shit. Like this is bad. And he was trying to get a feel for it.
It's like a simple scene of him like, oh boy. It was like oh man, this is happening.
Let me listen.
Like it was like a double down of Tyrion from the shadows.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it again. There's a lot more that I need to pull from it.
Pissed, and then like not like, oh, this is annoying. This is like, oh man, my heart's. It almost looked like he was heartbroken.
It's like he wanted to join in.
No, like that's what I mean. Like, that's not an angle I never thought about before ever. That he would have feelings for her until that moment.
Oh, weird. They better not do a fucking love triangle.
This could be setting up for a whole other strife between the company that's going up north, right?
No.
There's jealousy, there's betrayal, there's all these different things that are going to play against each other when they get up there to this war.
Yeah. No, true. And then on top of all that, you got the drama in Winterfell. So like this whole Jon shit was like shoehorned in. How did you feel about the Littlefinger freaking death twist?
Man, I feel like I called it. I didn't think he was going to die, but I knew that they were playing this up on the last episode.
Yeah.
I said, like, at the very end, I was like, man, the way that she handed her that dagger there was something weird about that. It was like they were, I even said, I think she kind of cranked it up. Almost like a play. Like they were totally doing this to make it seem like they were fighting. Like purposely fighting loud so the people outside the door could hear.
But that part to me was weird because it seemed like nobody was watching. I don't know. That part kind of confused me. But like they did justify everything well. Like I need to watch the season again to try and get a feel of what's happening. I just wish I could pinpoint the moment where Arya and Sansa were like, "Yeah, let's fuck this guy over."
No, they didn't. They didn't do it on camera. That's why they tried to pull that as a twist. But what you kind of have to fill in the blanks on is like Littlefinger before was paying off chambermaids and stuff like that, right, as a way of getting information. But at the same time, he was doing a double bluff by getting her to follow his path. But all the meanwhile, we knew how badass of a ninja Arya is. So she had the jump on him the entire time and was just trying to get Sansa on her side.
Yeah.
Right? So she, like, that's what I mean. We didn't see a scene of her saying, like, listen, this is exactly what you got to say. And he's going to spin it so that he's going to make me look like the bad guy. That's all it needed to happen. And then she would have that conversation that she did have with him. She knew that he was going to pull in a manipulation game and turn it on Arya. And then, boom, she would get her confirmation, which she did, but we didn't have that conversation.
Yeah, and then the one thing that blew, like, I was like really wondering about is like, why the fuck does Bran speak up now? He's like, that dagger you gave me. Like, why now? Why does he talk to Sam and talk about Jon Snow's past now and think that he's a Sand and then finally realizes he's a Targaryen? Why does Bran all of a sudden speak up about Littlefinger holding the knife to Ned Stark and betraying him? Like, why? I just don't understand why now. It seems very like they held it just in time.
I don't want to say theory, so I'll say hypothesis. My hypothesis on Bran is that he can only act the way he acts because of fate, as it were. So that's one side of it. He can only tell the people he can tell because that is what writes the time, in a sense. Get what I mean?
Yeah, he's stuck within the barrier of...
He is an observer of fate.
Yeah.
And he can only interact with fate where he can interact with it. That's why we saw like Hodor and all that shit.
It makes sense because you can't change it. It's like a weird loop.
But at the same time, the more logical hypothesis is that who's going to believe this guy? And he knows that. He's like, yeah, I'm weird. I can read the trees and know the past and present. So how am I going to tell you this and make you come on to my side without totally making you think I'm a freak? So he needed to be in the council of them and them grilling Littlefinger so that he got into an uncomfortable situation enough that everybody could plainly see that he was lying. That's why she had to bring up her sort of being an accessory to Lysa's death, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because she played it actually really well, because he could have said, well, you were sort of a part of that, right? But she knew that his weakness was her, so he would never admit that because he thought he could kind of crawl his way out of this situation.
Right.
And still have her allegiance. So it was really well played, and she had to hit him with these combos of what do you call it? Not confessions, but accusations that he had no way of disproving. And then boom, Bran tops it off with the dagger story.
And Tom F says, like in the chat, he says, it seems obvious that Bran was talking to them through the whole series. Like, would you buy that? Like, Bran actually was talking to them this whole time, and that's why they did this whole thing?
I just don't think they would buy it, in a sense. Like, Sansa got freaked out when he said that shit about her. And they didn't utilize Bran at all for us to even say that.
Yeah.
If there was a single conversation of someone going up and asking. But Bran wasn't a part of this plan at all until the very end. I feel like they didn't use him at all. And they should have used him so much more.
I know. He would have been so useful last episode, too. In episode 6. It would have been a great explanation for a reason to go north.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know. They should have used him way more. But then, Littlefinger death scene. I didn't peg him as a pussy.
No, yeah, begging on his knees.
Yeah, I honestly didn't expect him to be like that. I don't know how I feel about that. I thought he would have had some dignity.
Yeah, like kind of died on his principles. But I guess he's just a sniveling bastard after all.
And then what even happened? Like for the rest of the episode, like we got Eastwatch. Did we get anything else?
So we got the sisters resolved their differences, even though they didn't have any really to begin with. You have Jaime's fight with Cersei. You had Tyrion talk to Cersei. It was just really funny when he's like,
"That's another thing."
Say the word.
Cersei still has a baby.
So she says.
So she says. But what I find interesting is in the plot leak. Now we can talk about the plot leaks like freely. Every point in the plot leak was real. At the end of the plot leak, it says that Cersei had a miscarriage. So I don't know what that means.
Was there an end of credits scene that I should have stuck around for instead of getting in the
mic? I don't know. That's why I was kind of bitter when she was pregnant in the first place, because I was like, why would you get her pregnant? Like, I get the point of it to keep Jaime loyal, but then to have her miscarriage right away, it seems like a quick writer's thing. But she's still pregnant, so I don't know what's going on now. But Jaime didn't give a fuck regardless.
No, see, I don't think I think Jaime does give a fuck. That's why he went. But he doesn't give a fuck what she thinks right now because he knows what's right.
Yeah,
he's not done with Cersei. He still loves her dearly. That's what I'm having a hard time with, because like we have that whole thing where one of her brothers is gonna choke her to death, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and where it's left for me is that Tyrion seems reconciled with Cersei, not in a positive, like, see you at your baby shower kind of reconcile. Like, he knows her for what she is and respects it because she's not changing. Whereas Jaime has a much more fragile path to walk with her because he isn't in so much love with her, because he does have a supposed child with her, but she's changed, and that's what he's having a hard time with. Right? Mm-hmm. The power of the throne has now corrupted her to a point where he doesn't recognize her anymore. Yeah. And this is the first of many things. Well, maybe not too many things, but the first of things to happen to drive more of a wedge between them.
Yeah.
So I really do think he'll end up killing her.
I'm just like, overall, I'm just kind of shocked because, like, Cersei's still around. You have the Golden Company coming in, and she has like this baby. I just don't know how they're gonna play going forward. Like, I thought they would have ended Cersei this season. Like, I think it would be a cool season finale if we saw Cersei die this season, but they're actually carrying her over. So I just don't know what part she's gonna play or what her role is gonna be, like, other than just a shit disturber.
I just that's what I mean. Why would she? For her, she could just sit on ice, for lack of a better term, and just chill in King's Landing. It only just started snowing a little bit there. She's got the population. She's got all that. So why would she even attack? Let these crazy crusaders go up there and fight these monsters while she sits tight and tries to build an army.
Yeah.
Right? Why would she even bother being a part of it until they're ready to come back and fight?
Yeah.
Right? And she would only have to fight what's left of them.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't know. I'm confused. Like, cause like the next season they better not beat the Night King in 3 episodes and then deal with Cersei for the next 3. Like, I feel like it's so much going on. I can't even express how it's gonna end. Like, it's 6 episodes. Like, think about that. 6 episodes. Like, that's insane.
There's a lot of spinning plates at this moment.
Like, they could have. I feel like they should have wrapped up a lot more than they do now. Like, I feel like the last season, this is really surprising. The last season to me was wrapped up better, and it established more for an ending than this season.
Yeah.
It's very bizarre. Like, I feel like this season somehow managed to hover in place, and I feel like the producers are scared to make a move or kill a character or do something.
If you really think about it, though.
What's that?
This is Deathly Hallows Part 1. If you look at it that way. Instead of having, because there's only going to be 7 books, this is Book 7, Part 1. right?
Yeah.
So it is a what's it called? Like a 2-part finale.
Yeah. I hope they
I
play
just
it
want,
off
yeah,
like that.
I'm worried that it's gonna be a one episode battle
Yeah.
for the Night's King, but I don't know. The
Maybe
only
it'll
thing about
be
this season is that I feel like it's falling on typical story tropes.
100%. We haven't gotten a Hodor for
Every
the
other
hold the
season,
door
there's
moment.
been twists and like things that you haven't had. That's what's so attractive about Game of Thrones is that they're not afraid to kill characters. I'm not saying that I wanted any characters to die, but just like I'm used to a certain level of backstabbery, like
Yeah.
twists and things of that nature. Whereas this just seems a lot of pieces are moving on the board.
We should have gotten a lot more. Like, I would have loved to get more detail on the Night King. Like, since he's this big foe for the next 6 episodes of the show, show me that he can green sea. Show me that he can warg. Show me that he has a connection with Bran, which would explain the reason why he was able to touch him in the last season. Like, I just wish they played his character up more and they maybe emphasized Bran's connection to him, which would explain episode 6 to me a lot more. Like, I feel like Bran should have been there.
Tell me what the fucking shit is coming out of that dragon's mouth.
Yeah, what the hell is that? It's like a Psy beam. It's like a Pokemon move.
Yeah, man.
Like, it's like, I don't know what the fuck
I'm
that
not
was.
complaining because me and Pat were saying, I'm like, ice or fire? What's coming out of that dragon's mouth? And it's like, we both were wrong and we both were right because it's like fire ice.
Oh, another thing about the dragon. So let's talk about Eastwatch now. It's fast as hell. Like, it was like way better than the other two.
Yeah, it flies like a bat.
It was like, the best way I can describe it is like How to Train Your Dragon. Like, it's like the main dragon, like the black dragon that breathes blue fire, and it's like the small one is toothless or whatever.
Toothless, yeah.
It's fast like that. It's like whipping around. It's nuts. I don't even get it.
So it's flying around like a bat. We were both like, whoa, this is crazy.
I know. But like, that got me thinking about, it's like all this shit is going down. Let's just talk about next season now. What do you think is going to happen next season? And by the way, for you in the chat, everybody, get your questions ready. We're going to answer some questions after we're done talking about season 8. But like, do you have overall thoughts on like what the hell is going to happen?
I just wanted to say before we go, he didn't redeem himself at all, but Theon.
Oh, Theon. Okay, yeah, bookmark. We need to talk about Theon. What'd you think about Theon?
Like, it's exactly what I knew was going to happen. But he I don't know if he killed that guy, but he knocked some guy out and he's marching forward.
I thought the reasoning for him to be on top was dumb. Like, he's getting hit in the dick and he's just like taking it and he's happy to take it. Like, and that's how he gets the upper hand. Just like, come on, man. And then I guess, he beats him over the head with the rock. But I started to laugh too, because after, like, I don't know why they're wasting time on Theon and his story, because now he's going to the Iron Islands to save Yara. And then we get the reveal that Euron's actually going to Essos. So Theon's going to arrive and be like, what the fuck? And not have anything there.
No, you don't think she's on the Iron Islands?
Euron wouldn't leave her there.
Well, he would underestimate Theon's ability to go after her, though.
I don't know, but like they wouldn't have done it if it wasn't a reason, because they wrote this season and the next season really close together. They wouldn't send Theon to the Iron Islands unless it had a purpose. And right now Euron's not even at the Iron Islands, so I find it really funny. And like, yeah, just his redemption, I thought it was fine. I just found it funny. Like, he talks to Jon, he's like, am I a Stark or am I a Greyjoy? So like, you could be both. And then he like tries to get like permission from Jon. He's like, my sister saved me. And then he just, I don't know. And then I guess that was enough. So he went to go save her. So that'll be interesting. But I did like the scene between the two, because he always said like, Jon, you always did the right thing. And I don't know. I just thought I like Jon in this scene a lot.
No, he did exactly what he's supposed to, right?
Yeah.
But
the right thing.
Yeah, like, again, I'm the last person that wants to talk about Theon, but it was exactly what needed to happen.
So, with all the pieces on the board, what the hell do you think is going to happen next season? You got Theon going to the Iron Islands for no fucking reason at all. You got Euron going to Essos to get the Golden Company and bring them back for Cersei. You got Jaime headed north. You got the Night King coming south, and you got Jon going to Winterfell. What's going to happen?
I don't know because there's pieces missing, so we have to know where Tormund's going if he survived it. I'm pretty sure he did though. So wherever he's going, I think Castle Black because I don't think Castle Black's done in all this.
Yeah, right? They're gonna have Ed, Dolorous Ed. I think that's how you say
it. There's no point being on the wall. We gotta go down. We gotta go south. So that's where he has to go. They're going to Castle Black. I would put money on it.
Really?
Yeah, they have to go to Castle Black to get all the Night's Watch to come down. Right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if they have a contingent of Dragonstone at all, do they?
Of Dragon what?
Of Dragonstone?
Dragonglass? I don't know.
Dragonglass, yeah, sorry.
I think they have some. They were mining it at Dragonstone, so I think they have a fair share.
But did it ever get back to Winterfell, though?
I'm sure they picked up
their own ships. Castle Black.
I'm sure they picked there's not much at Castle Black. I think they're fucked.
Well, that's what I mean. Like Castle Black would have been is like head office for the Night's Watch. And its legend is that the children always donated them like a satchel of dragonglass every so often. So there's got to be a small contingent there, right? So maybe they'll arm up and we'll get a battle of Winterfell where the Night's King and his horde shows up to Daenerys and her armies, and then the Night's King comes, or the Night's Watch comes to save the day. I don't know.
I'm starting to think about it, and like all the pieces that they left off, they're all gonna have somewhat of a purpose. Tormund, like let's start with the North. Tormund surprised me because they didn't reveal him to be dead, even though to me he seemed like he was. And he seems like an important character, and he's with Beric Dondarrion. So off the bat, I thought it would have been cool if Tormund maybe died and maybe Beric gave him the kiss of life and sacrificed himself for Tormund. I don't know. But that's the debate. Are they going to go to Castle Black or are they going to go to Winterfell? Because the Night King isn't going to leave his army. Like, he has a dragon, which is overpowered. Like, he can do a lot of damage, but he's going to stay with his army, and his army can only march on land. So it's just the debate whether they're going to go to Castle Black first or they're going to go to Winterfell. I think you could argue, I might argue Castle Black because they're going to sweep the living from north to south. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
so you think the horde is going to the Castle Black?
I think they're going to attack Castle Black first. I think we might start off with episode 1, the Castle Black falling. And Tormund may make it to Winterfell to warn them just in time. But what I think is going to happen is the Golden Company is going to arrive, and I think it's going to be a story about survival. So maybe halfway through, they realize they have to evacuate Winterfell. And when they're evacuating, they're met by the Golden Company from the south. So I think it might be like, the best way I could describe it is a cartoon dinosaur movie I watched. It's called Dinosaur. And they're trying to escape the T-Rexes, but at the same time, they have a cliff on the other side. So they have to like get together and fight off the T-Rex. Like, I don't know. It's a stupid example. But the idea is that you have two threats on either side, and then they're probably going to have to like better their differences and maybe fight the Night King. I don't know. And then Theon's purpose, I don't know what the hell he's going to do on his little conquest. Maybe he might just be the guy to deliver the information to Daenerys that she got fooled and that Euron is actually in Essos.
Well, for me, it's hard to resolve that the Night's King is pure. It just seems now, after this season specifically, that he's just an unmotivated evil force. Before, I thought there was maybe a touch of gray in there, where he's not necessarily 100% evil. He's just doing what he needs to do, whether it's the survival of his people, whether it's whatever, whether there's a deal that was broken from years ago and he's coming to clean up or coming to collect a debt that he feels is owed. But he just seems like a cold-blooded enemy at this point. literally.
I wish they should have enveloped that more. Like, and I feel like since they haven't, he's just a cold villain. Like that's it. But I
Right?
feel like there were so many hints that we talk about through so many videos. You have the symbols, you have the arrow that they're wearing on their chest, you have the mountain the size, the shape of an arrowhead. Like you have all of these things that hint to a culture, but yet none of them have actually been proven. And I feel like if they're going to do it, it should have been this season.
And like, if he's ever going to talk to Jon, it probably would have been a good time when he was on that stone last episode.
Yeah.
To say something like, "This is what we want." But then people are saying, I think some of our commenters are saying that they kind of planned that for the dragons to show up because they had spears. I thought that was actually a really good theory. But
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know. For me, it's just like, that's kind of lame if it's just a straight up Voldemort that's coming south. I really was hoping, and again, this is my expectations, that there's a little bit more to him, and that the whole White Walker thing than just the evil force.
Yeah, me too.
They're not just Jack Frost that comes when the winter comes. I feel like there is still something, but this season did not help their. It was a bad PR for their cause this season.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. And there's a lot of other stuff that like I'm starting to think of too, where you have Arya and Cersei's on her list, and this whole season was building on Sansa knowing about Arya's ability and how Sansa is a lady and Arya is obviously not. She's a faceless person, and I think everyone's really going to fit in their roles in this season. Jon's going to take on the role of, I guess, the king, and the reason why I say the king is because he is the person who represents the force from the north. He knows how to fight the White Walkers, and that's the biggest threat. Therefore, he's the person in charge.
Yeah, he's leading
So
all these armies in a sense.
he's leading everybody because he knows the threat. So he's going to take the mantle of the king. You're going to have Sansa, because Jon has taken the mantle of the king, she's going to take the role of Lady of Winterfell. So I think everyone's going to fit in their spot. And I think Sansa, because she's so clever and she knows how Cersei's mind works, she's going to know that she's going to discover that Cersei is getting people from the Golden Company, probably from Theon, and she's going to send Arya to go assassinate her. And that could be something too. And then that's where the Golden Company comes in. Maybe when everyone is fleeing from Winterfell because the Night King is coming, they get met by the Golden Company. Jaime might loop around to King's Landing. I'm just trying to play it off how it would happen, because I guess she might try, like, hopefully she tries to blow it up. That would be awesome. Or maybe they finally make it to King's Landing and they won't get let in. Eh? Like everyone gets to King's Landing, they're traveling south, and Cersei won't let them in. And then maybe she does, and Jaime runs in and she tries to blow up all of King's Landing and he stops her or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of possibilities.
But that's the thing. So that's what's hard to resolve in my mind. It's like, okay, if you're putting all your evil chips on the Night's King, then like what good is having Cersei around?
Yeah.
She's obviously nowhere near as evil as the Night's King, because he's a paranormal enemy that has magic and dead people with him. So that's why I really was hoping that Cersei's story would be resolved at this point, or hopefully, let's hope, in the early episodes of this. But it doesn't seem that way, because they have all these loose ends still to bring back.
I think Cersei plays as like a really good villain, and it's annoying to me that the Night King does kind of fall in that role, because like I feel like he's not going to be a gray villain now because they didn't establish it in this season, and it pisses me off because the reason to me Jon Snow is a savior isn't because he's a Targaryen. It's because he's literally the human embodiment of perspective. He's like ice and fire, and you see his whole arc is like bringing the wildlings and the Night's Watch together, bringing these people together, learning about this, and it's about learning about two sides of a coin. And I feel like that Jon's whole story arc would be perfect to make an agreement with the Night King.
Yeah,
and that would be that would be like the perfect wrap up, because he was building that arc with Jon the whole series, and that's where I think great drama between Daenerys and Jon would come in. Daenerys would be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? He's killed one of my dragons, and he killed all of these people, fire and blood. I'm going to kill him." And Jon would be like, "Hey, there's some of this you don't understand, and you would have to kill her to bring peace between both sides, because that's what his character is, and that's why he's the savior. He's ice and fire. But I don't think they're going to do that. So I don't know.
That's what I mean. Like, I just don't picture it being a Lord of the Rings style ending where the good prevails. Because even Buddy said, like, it's going to be a bittersweet.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll leave it to these guys to figure out. But I don't know. For me, this season did leave it open. Definitely, it's an open book right now.
I'm very confused.
Consideration that it is Deathly Hallows Part 1.
And we'll stick around for just a bit. If you have any questions, write them in the chat. We'll get right to them. But while we're waiting for questions, anything else about this episode that you liked, hated, thought was weird?
Oh man, that dragon just is amazing.
The beam still confuses me. It'll be, you know what's crazy is we're gonna see a dragon fight. Like we're gonna see a full blown dragon fight. So that'll be kind of cool.
Dragon dog fighting, yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
But then that's another question. Like when the hell is Jon gonna be able to fly one of these damn things? I thought last episode would have been perfect. In episode 6, instead of stupid Benjen swooping in and saving him, it would have been perfect for freaking Rhaegal to come and save him.
Yeah, like Dany could have been just totally destroyed that her one dragon got killed and unable to fly, and then Jon could have hopped up on there and kind of figured it out.
Yeah, I don't know. It would have been. I think it would have been a huge opportunity for Rhaegal to save Jon. I don't know why they brought in Benjen. I think Benjen could have been used next season when the wall comes down. Benjen could have came through and been the guy running to Castle Black, running here, running there, warning people, doing that kind of shit. So I don't know why they just threw him in there to die. I feel like he was a useful piece, and they could have replaced him with Rhaegal. So I don't know. But with Jon regards to Rhaegal, I don't know when he's going to try and fly him. I wish that they did the reveal that they did with Daenerys, where she like closes her eyes and summons him. I think that would have been sick.
Yeah.
One question from Mandeep Triangle. I don't know how to read your name. Sorry. Do you think the baby that the Night King picked up was Jon and Dany's son? What?
No, it was Craster's kid, I thought.
What baby? Talking about season 4?
I thought it was. Is it Craster? I thought it was Craster's kid.
I'm confused. What baby?
The baby that he converted is Craster's kid, I thought. He brings him all the way up north.
And if you think it's Jon and Dany's son, that is very tinfoil. So I'm not sure. And the thing with Daenerys is they made it very clear that she's barren, and I feel like they beat them over the head with that. And then Jon says, like, you can't trust a witch. So I guess that's like the writer's way of saying, hey, you probably could still have kids, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, incomplete information. We don't know what happened. They didn't even show the baby.
Yeah, I don't know. And then people ask too about baby Sam, like the other Craster's kid that's with Sam. Like, will that be a plot thread going forward? And I would say no. The plot thread already happened, and that was the White Walker tried to take Sam, baby Sam, and Sam Tarly killed him, and that was the whole thing. And I think that's what spawned Sam's arc. So I think that's why that was important.
Imagine it was Sam's kid that this whole war is for.
What's that?
Imagine it's Sam's kid that this is the whole, like, that would be crazy. If it was literally the Night King is in pursuit of Sam's kid.
Just because of the fucking baby?
Yeah. Samuel Jackson Tarly is his full name. And he's
That's hilarious. I was about to do a Samuel Jackson impression, but I realized I can't. Next question. What?
Not in these political times.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. Max, what do you guys think of Jon telling the truth? Is he repeating Ned's mistakes? Oh, what do you think about that? About Jon totally botching the deal between them and Cersei, saying that, I'm sorry, Your Grace, I bent the knee to Daenerys Targaryen, and I slept with her.
It's just, like, again, he is the hero. Whatever the fucking constellation is in their religion, he's the hero. He can't help but be good boy Jon.
Yeah, I totally get it. I honestly totally get where he's coming from. He's a character that's his integrity is everything. And if you don't have integrity, then what's the point? And I think that's his character. And I think it totally made sense. And yeah, I think for Jon, it's really important to be true to who he is. And I think his dad really rubbed off on him. And that's like, well, Ned Stark. And I think that's the whole thing, is that Jon's blood is so important. But what was even more important is that he was raised as a Stark. So he has the right integrity. So he has everything that takes to be the ruler. And honestly, like, if Jon was king, to me, that is bittersweet, because, you know, the world might be in shambles. Jon would just be the king. Daenerys would be dead, and he would have to pick up the pieces, and he takes on the mantle that he hates doing. He hates being a ruler, but he's the perfect candidate for it.
Yeah, he can't help but be the ruler.
Yeah, so I think that personally that's bittersweet to me. More and more I'm starting to think Jon's making it out of this. It seems like it's Jon's story. And everybody's really and that's just not just because I'm a Jon fan. Think about it. Every single season finale pretty much is wrapped up in some kind of Jon reveal.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Actually, this is a good question for you and Mitra, because we can kind of compare. Tom F asks, I want to know if you feel the leaks have made the season feel off. I think all of the normal surprises that GOT normally gives us were lost. So you, Trev, as somebody who didn't watch didn't know anything about the leaks, did you think that this season stacked up with the rest of them, and did you get surprised like you did with previous seasons?
No, and it's, again, I never watched even any of our videos, well, your videos. I never watched any of your videos.
Thanks for the support, brother.
I avoided it. I plugged my ears. I never went on Reddit. Like, I haven't been on Reddit, just even front page for the longest time. Because of this. I don't like spoilers. I like seeing it as the fans see it. And that's not to say anything against our fans, because they love your spoiler casts, if they will, or leaks and reveals and news. But no, what I take from this season is that it is missing those twists and plots. We didn't get any really good, like I don't know if this is a term that's been coined, but backstabbery. There wasn't that much backstabbery. I can't even think of a really good example of there being backstabbery.
Yeah.
At all in this season.
Yeah.
And that's what leaves me optimistically leaving it as it's part one of two. Like, it's a part one of a 2-part season.
Yeah. And like, from my perspective, like, I read the leaks. I knew it was going to happen. But when I read the leaks, watch my first video, I talked about how the plot leaks were bullshit, because I'm like, I literally had the argument that, like, there is no fucking way that they would write this into the show. Lo and behold, it all happened. And I was hoping that they would prove me wrong in some instances, and they did. But in other instances, it made me think, like, why would you do that? So for me, it was like, it did lack the kind of surprise. And I honestly think I would have enjoyed it more if I didn't know it was coming. But what bummed me out more about this season was the lack of logic. Like, why capture White? Why would they meet with Cersei? They know who she is as a character. And it was the lack of capitalizing on opportunities. Like, I feel like they had so many opportunities to promote different interesting stories and interesting arcs and characters, and they just chose the straight and narrow that didn't achieve anything. It was just visual noise.
Yeah,
so
I'm just even thinking about, like, I don't know how this would be written in, but why don't they just, like, have them smuggle in this dead creature and have it walk through King's Landing, like right in the castle, like, drop it off, and this thing wakes up, and then send a raven at the same time saying, check your courtyard, as the guards try and, like, dispatch this thing, and it's just not stopping.
Yeah, and just, yeah, the whole thing, like, yeah, like, I get it. Like, they want the characters in the north to meet with the Night King, because that's the whole part of the show now. But they shouldn't have went to capture White. They should have went because of a reason that Bran gave. Maybe Bran wanted them to go north to do something, and maybe in his mind he was misguided because the Night King was messing with him, because he's also a green seer. Maybe instead of just the Night King sitting there, because I thought episode 6 was handled pretty poorly, they should have shown us that he wanted them to be there. He didn't He didn't attack them because of the stupid ice was broken. He didn't attack them because he was waiting for Daenerys to arrive. Like, I just wish they capitalized on certain opportunities to make them, to bring more depth to the story.
Yeah.
Another quick thing I want to address. Amanda brings up Jon being named Aegon. Did you know that Rhaegar's oldest son is also named Aegon?
Yeah.
Do you find that
I
weird?
believe I know that. Like, that sounds familiar.
Did you not? Did you find that weird at all? Because like literally, Rhaegar has two sons named Aegon.
That's a little weird then.
I know. So like either because the show never addressed it, it doesn't exist, or because Rhaegar wanted to name the son that he thought was the prince who was promised Aegon, and he thought it was his first son, but then he might have changed his mind because he met with Lyanna and she was ice, so he named him Aegon as well. So I don't know.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll glaze over it in the next season.
Yeah, I know. So I don't know. We're going to take a couple more questions and then we're going to call it a stream. Anybody else got anything to ask you?
I can't even see how many people we got.
We have 57.
Wow, thanks to everyone showing up.
57 peeps. Thanks for showing up, everyone. Getting really thirsty here. Just looking for a question here. Do you think Theon is capable? Your favorite topic. Do you think Theon is capable and will do a mission against Euron in Essos? Maybe even beat Euron there.
He's destined to beat him.
Like, it's his destiny.
Yeah, he has to, or he's just a waste of time. If he comes up short one more time, he is a waste of space.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Can't. Yeah. He literally got dick punched several times in this episode,
and it looked like he happily took it.
If he doesn't realize that and doesn't go in there and win, they shouldn't have cast this character.
Yeah, the whole,
because he's a punching bag if he loses.
And I feel like they really set it up for that reason. They're like, look, Theon wants to be strong now, and he wants to go save his sister. He gets the shit kicked out of him. He gets his dick punched. He comes on top. Way to go, Theon. Now he's going to the Iron Islands. Like, they set it up for a reason. And, like, we talk about Theon all the time, as much as you hate him. His character arc's been set up to make him truly Ironborn. Like, he's fucking dead. Like, he's lost everything. Like, what does dead man ever die? He's been conditioned to be truly Ironborn. He is like the shining example of what it means to be Ironborn. And they all make fun of him for it, but it's true. And I think he's going to be the one on top. He's the one that was beaten up the most. And that's it. And I think Theon may come across, I think it would be a nice twist if he went to go save Yara and she might just like kill herself or refuse to go. And it would be like a reflection of his story.
Well, you know what's interesting too is like I just reflecting back, the very start of this episode starts with Bronn talking about like what men would have to fight for if they didn't have a dick, because he's talking about the Unsullied, and it's just like they set this up to be the antithesis of Theon's whole story. It's not about maybe about family and redemption, so. We'll see.
That's true. That's true. Very true. Yeah, I forgot about that too. Bronn and Jamie were talking about that. But yeah, I think Theon might end up on top because Yara's probably going to get her tongue cut out, be silenced, and not be able to rule. And then Theon will have to take her place because, like, it'll be crazy. Like, of how bad he's tortured, but he's better off than Yara. I think that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So, Mang Deep.
It will be really funny, though, if he does fail once more.
What's that?
It will be really funny if he fails once more.
If he fails, like, there's no freaking way.
I promise 5 minutes straight long, nonstop laughter if he fails.
I thought they were going to just kill. Like, there's a moment where I was watching and I'm like, they're not gonna set Theon up just to die on this beach, are they? Like I thought he was gonna die, but he's fine now. Let's go to one more question. I know we already talked about it, but I think it's a good note to end on. Predictions for season 8. Just give me a couple bullet points of what you think must happen in the next season.
Good prevails. The Night King is defeated. I don't know, man. I really don't know. After this season, I really don't know. I need like a month of reflection.
You need a month of reflection
to kind of like figure out the next move on this crazy chess game.
I'll give you that.
They flipped this board upside down.
They did, because we thought there could be a potential agreement, because the Night King isn't just an angry like villain, but they haven't set him up to be anything else but a killing machine. So it seems like there's going to be no other arc that goes that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me personally, bullet notes just off watching this episode, I would say Night King breaks down the wall. He goes to Castle Black. He takes them over. He resurrects Dolores Ed and all them. Removes Castle Black. As he's doing that, Tormund's going to run to Winterfell, warn them of all the shit that's happening. They're going to evacuate Winterfell and go south. I think by that time, Cersei's going to have the Golden Company, and she's going to hold King's Landing. And I think it's going to be... What's that?
Even the twins, right? Or the fork, what's it called?
Twins are important too. Because I think that...
A pinch, right?
Yeah. No, it's interesting. I think a lot's going to happen. Everyone's going to fall in their roles. Sansa's going to be the Lady of Winterfell. She's going to send Arya probably to try and kill Cersei, because she's going to use her as that chip. Jon isn't going to be King of the North, because he's going to have to take the role as king, because the main issue is the Night King, and Jon knows the most about that. So he's pretty much going to rule everybody to take over this threat. And that might be how they decide that he's the best for the throne.
Well, I don't think they're going to be calling him king. He's going to get everyone on his side. He'll be General Snow. Yeah. And they iron out all the shit that they need to iron out.
Yeah. And then by the end of it, they'll be like, you did this for us. You take us into the light. You bring us into spring. And then he'll do that. Like what I want to happen is the Night King to be more than human, or more than just an enemy. Jon, I think I've said it over and over, he's a story of perspective. I think Jon should be the one to bring the sides together, White Walkers and humans, and Daenerys won't want that because they killed her dragon and all this shit. So I think Jon would have to kill Daenerys in order to save the White Walkers, which would be explained through Bran and all that shit. And then Jon would bring peace to both sides. They would go north again, and then Jon would kind of pick up the pieces with Tyrion, maybe. I don't know, but I think they're going to be held between two sides. It's going to be a survival story. They're going to be running from the White Walkers, but they're going to be held up at King's Landing by the Golden Company. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it might get so bad to the point where they're trying to go to King's Landing to keep all the civilians safe, but Cersei will refuse. Jaime will go into treaty and might end up killing her. And then I think Jon and Daenerys are going to have to go north to fight the Night King. They'll get like a dragon fight. Probably Drogon will die and all this shit will happen. I don't know. It'll be crazy.
See, I think the only part we diverge on, I really don't think Jon would kill Daenerys. I feel like they will have an impasse, and she will do what she normally does and goes and tries to blow shit up. Yeah. And there'll be an argument before this happens, saying like, no, that's not the way to win this. It's X, which whatever we don't know yet about the Night King, has to happen, and she won't do it because she's either maybe people that she's loved have died because of him. Another dragon may be dead. Who knows? But she's gonna fly into battle, and that's how she'll die.
And after seeing this, I don't think that would really happen anyway. They did set Jon and Daenerys up as like a couple, so I don't think anything like that's gonna happen. But I think that's all I have to say about this episode. Is there anything else you got to say?
No, I really did like it though. I thought it was really awesome.
I liked it too, but I think it could have been done better.
Sorry, we do have to mention one more thing.
Yeah.
What's coming for the mountain?
What's that?
What's coming for the mountain?
I don't know. He's just with Cersei, right?
I went up to him and said, "You already knew what was coming for you."
I don't know.
That's weird. That was a weird thing. Please let me know if anyone knows. because I don't know if that's from the books or if that's unrevealed yet.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know what he meant by that. I wonder if the Hound can see more than just the mountain and the arrowhead and the flames.
Something. No, it's almost like they've known it from like childhood, like they've always known. And
Yeah.
it almost seemed like the way that they did the camera shot, like the mountain is much taller than the Hound, is he not?
Yes.
But they made it seem like they were looking eye to eye. And the way that they shot it, it almost seemed like the mountain, who's supposed to be this dead zombie guy, looked kind of like not, I wouldn't say alarmed, but like a dead zombie guy when he said that.
Yeah, and I find it funny too, because like Gregor, like the mountain pretty much dictated the Hound's life. Like I find it funny how he was pushed into a fire, but yet he uses that fire now to see what's coming.
Yeah, he's
You know what I
learned
mean?
from.
So yeah, I just find it funny that comes full circle. But yeah, just overall with this episode.
Fire now.
Sorry, what?
His life depends on fire.
I know, it's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. Overall with this season, if I would rank it, if I could talk season finales, I wish I remembered what happened in season 5 finale. See, with this, like, this season's hard to rank. Like the penultimate episode for this season was probably one of my least favorite. But the finale, I would say it's in the middle of the road. Nothing to me comes close to season 6. Like you got Jon, King of the North, you got the reveal that he's a Targaryen, you got the Sept of Baelor blowing up, you got so much shit. You got Arya leaving or killing Walder Frey. Like you got everything. I just thought it was really well done. This one was, to me, even though so much happened, it was slower. Like it didn't seem like a season finale to me. It seemed like a middle of the road episode. So I don't know. But yeah, after that awkward pause, do you have anything else to say?
No, that's everything.
All right. Well, we're going to head out, everybody. I want to thank Margaret M. For giving us $5. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, everybody in the chat, and thank you for joining in. I'm going to be back at home on Thursday, so hopefully we can have more Game of Thrones videos and a breakdown video coming soon. But until next time, we'll see you guys later.
See you guys.
And you know what's the worst? When I say goodbye and I forget to press the stop broadcast buttons. We're going to do that one more time. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you guys later.